First of all, I'd like to thank the FSO and especially Jazz for giving us such a public platform, giving us stage time to speak about this issue. And it's very important. It's a big issue that's been going on since 1984. I've been asked today to speak about a collusion between India and UK governments, which have been targeting the Sikh activists and Sikh activism. I will go through a short timeline of events that have took place since 1984. And as we all know, in 1984, this government assisted the Indian government to attack Sidi Darbal Sahib in June 1984. As activists started mobilizing in the UK, in 1985, 3 Sikh activists in Leicester were targeted. When we talk about collusion at the highest level, they sent an undercover police officer to entrap these 3 Sikh activists in Leicester. They ended up getting 16 to 14 years. The copper, the police officer, he posed as an undercover officer. He posed as an IRA official member just to get in there with the Sikh activists before the entrapment began. And these 3 activists ended up doing 16 years, 14 years, and the 3rd activist got not guilty. In 1991, there was an attempted extradition by the UK government to send back Karmjit Singh Chahal. From 1991 to 1996, he was in remand in Bedford jail. It's countless times that this government have pressured Sikh activists here. Threatening to extradite Sikhs, keeping them on remand for that long, is unheard of. These are political activists. These are political Sikh activists that are just speaking about our rights. If you look in front of us by Raghbir Singh, he was one of the activists that they attempted to extradite at the same time. And all of this is documented in the Sacrificing Sikh report, which is done by the Sikh Federation Sikh Network. You need to take time to read that and understand how deep this collusion is. In 2001, 2 Sikh Jathebandiyaan were officially banned in the UK as well. In 2014, the UK government documents were officially leaked, which exposed this government colluding with India. We all knew unofficially for many years, but in 2014, those documents were actually leaked, and the Sangha was aware. What have we done since in the last 10 years? 2016, Narendra Modi came and sat with senior Sikh leadership. Officially, a lot of Sikh leadership sat with him. Unofficially, some have sat behind with closed doors. These are our leaders that we're meant to look up to. They've infiltrated us. 2017, straight after, Jagtar Singh Johal abducted off the streets of Punjab. And have a think about that for a moment. A British-born Sikh. Have a think about that for the moment. A British-born Sikh who attended this rally every year. He would put Sanjay Singh's photo on T-shirts and distribute it to the Sangata. He documented the atrocities that took place in 1984 and thereafter. And he was targeted. That was to set a precedent. That was to test the waters. 5.5 years later, what have we done? The very few that raised his voice, very few. How do you think his family is feeling? His brothers travelled from midnight, Glasgow last night, just to be here with the Sangha today. We need to raise our voice for Jaggi. And those who did, just remember this, those who did, a year later in 2018, we were raided. 5 Sikh activists in the UK were raided by this government, this police, West Midlands counter-terrorism unit. They sent bomb squads to people's houses. They've spent millions on this investigation. What was that to do? To put that pressure on to silence you. In 2019, the second part of that raid, Operation Takuma, took part. And they targeted Sikh Youth UK. They tried to silence us. Then we look at Operation Graftage in 2020. MI5 and counter-terrorism units in the UK. They targeted 4 activists, 2 were approached by CTU, who raided their houses, harassed their families, interrogated them, and 2 were contacted by MI5. All because of those who have been infiltrating our community. In 2020, December, the raids on the West Midlands 3. And in 2021, the FETE, that we won that case. But they tried to extradite 3 British-born Sikhs back to Punjab to face the death sentence. These are 3 juggies sitting here who they tried to extradite. Juggie faces the death sentence. The public media, the mainstream media have openly said that there's a collusion, that MI5 was spying and they passed intelligence to India. Since then, what's been happening? Countless government reports. Being review this year, the government prevent scheme this year, all have stated that very few Sikh activists, they're saying we're a minority. They're saying we're a minority, speaking about collusion. They're saying we're a minority. Look how many Kesari Chunde are out here. Look how much pressure they're putting to say we're the minority. When every Gurdwara, major Gurdwara, small Gurdwara have attended today with their local Sangat. Their disruption strategies continue. They profile activists. They're illegal raids. There is a clear agenda. They're trying to divide groups. They're trying to keep us segregated, to say you're mainstream and these are extreme, like they've said in their reports. They can't take that South Safari meaty peedy concept out of any Sikh. That's the importance. Don't let them do that. They're doing it. Don't let them do that. They say these are moderates, these are extreme, and these are radicalizing the youth. That's the language they're using. And they propagate that propaganda, that state propaganda is pushed into the community. Don't let them push state propaganda in the community. They switch the narrative, they infiltrate. And we're not going to let them do that. We have to be vocal. Keep it to the Pontic narrative. Put your differences aside. The Ponce narrative, the Ponce the priority. Now they're doing that. It is a binti for me to the Pracharaks or the Prajar groups. Like I said, they're going to try and segregate us. They're going to try and separate us, divide us, like they have done for countless years. Mark my words. They will be bribing our leaders with OBEs and BEs. What do we want out of that? They'll be bribing organizations with state funding. What do we mean from that? And trust me, then they'll be targeting the activists. And that's the issue. We all need to wake up to this collusion. It's been happening for years, but now they're openly doing it. Openly. If I've made any mistakes, I ask for forgiveness. Again, I want to thank the FSO for giving us a platform to speak about this issue, because nobody speaks about the activists on the ground. And it's so important. 1984 issue ain't a tick box. Once a year we come to the rally. You need to embed this in the Naujawan in your Gurdwara. You need to do Sikhi camps under the Shaheed Singh's names. And then we will be following in those Shaheed Singh's footsteps. And then we can get our home, Khalistan. Khalistan! 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 Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.